All right, we're back, kind of at it again. Um, as I stated, just been sick, so we've been not getting as much progress done, and I was waiting on some stuff, but I'll add some more to this video so I can get a video out here in the next day or two. So, let's talk about the fuel system here. So I went with a 87, so that'd be like a TBI fuel tank, truck tank. It is baffled on the inside, so you don't have fuel slosh issues. Let's see if I can get you guys a good see. So there's the baffling area to catch all the fuel. And the tank I got off eBay, I think it was like $140 some. It's definitely not as thick as the stock tank. And then went ahead and got the fuel injected sending unit, put a aftermarket 255 gallon pump in it, and then we went with, so it's 3/8 pipe to 6 AN, and it's 5/16 to 3/8 to 6 AN pipe. So these are like a compression fitting kind of deal. So you got one end, you got the compression fitting, and they just twist together and lock down, and they tighten up so they won't leak. And then we'll be going with a C5 Corvette fill filter style return system, and I got a new tank seal, new locking ring. So that's that for the fuel tank aspect of things. I did get the straps or the brackets off, which I need to clean. The rest of my garage is a freaking disaster, unfortunately, because I've been sick and it's been cold. So last night we had freezing rain, so we can see things are icy. It's actually a nice puddle now. It's actually kind of starting to melt off, but so that's been stopping me. So you can see, like, which I think pretty much everybody's gotten this cold weather so far today. The old tanks are back here. One of them, this side tank, was actually still full of gas. When I dropped it, it fucking spilt everywhere, and it smelled terrible. Actually, I can show you guys the gas I pulled out of it. Kind of reminds me of piss from a trucker, like a truck, you know, piss bomb that's been outside for a few days. Just the color, it's nice and pea looking like. Might try to burn it, I don't know. And then let me clear off some ice. So we'll come over here for a better view. I got the radiator back in. I'm going to be using the Tahoe Suburban radiator with the electric fans. Still coming up with an idea to mount them. I need to get, same for the bottom, probably next week I'll get the things. Tried to fit up the eBay cold air intake, not digging that too much. Got the battery back in place, work on mounting the expansion tank and all that fun stuff. Unfortunately, I haven't really been able to do much because I've just been sick and it's been cold. So I am changing headers, shorties. I'm just not digging. They're not working as I was hoping they would. So I went ahead and bought some speed engineering 1 3/4 long tubes. Supposed to be here tomorrow, but with all this ice and stuff we've had, I don't know. Not in a huge rush. It's Christmas in like the next 2 days anyways. Welcome back. We're back on the truck. Today we're going to be addressing one of the issues. Well, I guess this will be a couple things we're doing this, but biggest issue is we're gonna change the headers. So I bought these shorties. They're just cheap eBay. They're quote-unquote turbo headers. Hoping I get away with using these with this, but it's just not going to work the way I was hoping, because this header actually interferes with the Z-bar and the shift linkage. And then on this side, it's actually too close to the block, so the crank angle sensor is touching the header. Not a huge fan of that. So we went ahead and should have done this in the first place, but I didn't. Went ahead and bought some of the Speed Engineering 1 3/4 long tubes. This is a much nicer header, I believe. The inlets are much better. I believe these are still Chinese made, but they're more specific to these trucks. So these were like $308 shipped. So I guess I can still use these later down the road when I do decide to turbo it, but for now I've just changed my mind because I'm tired of dealing with all the bullshit that's coming with this. So let's go ahead and get these head doors swapped out. One of the first hurdles I'm coming across with these, and this is nothing on Speed Engineering, but the way I had my original exhaust, I gotta cut it back because the headers actually are longer in the downstream section of it. So let's go ahead and hack that off with the old Cadillac Converter Stealer 2000. All right, take 2 on putting this damn thing on. Ugh. I already tell it fits better. Holes line up easier. Way easier. Oh. Oh, damn it! Put the gasket on backwards, so I'm gonna struggle to get this on some more, and I'll be right back with you. All right, so far really good clearance, heck of a lot better than before with the shorties. Now it's starting to really rain. We'll come check fitment underneath here. Really good. Try to get the best shackle, really good shackle clearance. Exhaust wise, not going to take too much to make that work. They don't really hang low like some of the other ones. Good clearance everywhere. But I guess the real question is spark plug clearance. So I'll be using the old trusty NGK Blues. Wasn't supposed to rain today, but here we are doing this. So we'll see how number 1 goes. Your spark plug clearance. That seems really short. All right, well, that's a no-go apparently. So I guess I need to get plug wires. Oh well. shit happens. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring it out here. We'll get this other side on, get the exhaust cut, and we'll call that wrapped up for the exhaust. All right, so the header's on, and the header fitment on this is really good. Z-bar clears the shackle. I don't know if you guys can see down there all that well. Fits really good here. Lots of room in between the frame on this side, and a pretty good amount on this side. So I can go ahead and knock that off the list, and we'll move on to permanently putting in the radiator, and we'll see what happens from there. So I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in another video. I am using the Tahoe Suburban, the full radiator and electric E-fans. So for this to fit, it's actually not bad. So down, I'll use my, trying to give you guys the best light possible, but there's a little kind of like a little U-shaped thing that was originally once here, this part of the fan. I had to cut that out so we could slide it over enough. And then up top, it's gonna be pretty simple. You pull it forward. I'll use the factory radiator brackets, and I'll put a piece of flat stock here, connect these two, and then I'll weld it to the flat stock, and then the upper part be nice and secure. And then probably at some point I'll do something to cover here just to keep the air staying across the radiator. But the lower half of the radiator gets interesting. So it sits in this little pocket bushing thing, and the reason I'm doing this, A, so it doesn't vibrate and break something, and B, the lower hose, this lower hose kind of touches the fender well here, so I want to bring it up about an inch or so. So I found the easiest way I'm gonna do this. So this is what the radiator sits into, and then the little leg of the radiator drops into there. So I went and got these 1 3/4 by 5/8 exhaust adapters. So what I'm going to do is take this and put it into here. I'm going to cut whatever I need, you know, I'll probably 3/4 of an inch extra length over this. So, you know, probably close to the whole thing, but that's roughly what it'll sit like. And then I'm going to take these and I'll weld them, like 2 good welds on each side to the core support here, because eventually this one's a little rusty, so eventually I'll get a different one, and for right now this is just going to work. So I'm going to weld those to there. So I'm going to go ahead and, so you'll have these welded to the body. This will sit into it, be nice and solid along with here, won't have any problems. And then, so with this radiator too, and the way I've kind of set myself up for the future, I do want to turbo this, and I will be using these factory holes. So like there on the radiator, I'll just have to cut that little nub off, and then over here, same deal, I'll take out this plastic piece, and I'll have room for intercooler piping. So it's kind of a win-win. Reason I went with decided to keep this all stock is just to keep it stock, because I know it works. It takes a little bit to make it fit. Yes, you can use the 454 radiator and the hoses, but this is kind of a budget minded thing, so I didn't really want to buy any radiator. We'll talk about the expansion tank. So I drilled a hole over here, took out the metal little bushing, and then I just had to heat up the little arm here. You can see it a little bit, and then it sits where it needs to be as it was stock. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these little extensions made for the bottom of the radiator, and I'll get back to you. All right, so after measuring this from the base here to here is 1 3/4. I wanted to go like a probably 3/4 of an inch difference. So from here to here is 1 3/4. So that would be exactly what I want to use. So I just have to cut it right here where they expanded it, and it should work perfect. So I'm gonna get this cut. Hopefully I can cut it straight, and we'll get back to it. All right, we're back at it, and so what I've decided to do to mount the upper half. I'm reusing the factory small block flange or brackets. So what I did is I drilled, it's kind of hard to see, but I took this side of this bracket already has a hole in it. So I took, you can kind of see I made a mark right there. So I drilled into that, which holds the back side here, and then there's a nut. Let me grab a light. You kind of see there's a nut right there, which holds this side tight. So let's go ahead and go over and modify this bracket to fit this nut. And yes, I know I need a new bit. So this just drops in there. It actually comes out this back side here, and then it pulls up against it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the other drilled and the hole drilled in the other fan shroud, and I'll show you the finished product. So here's the final product on the radiator. I'll take these out eventually, but it's all nice and secure. The hood still closes and everything fits up like it should, as it would stock. All right, so next thing, I'm gonna finish buttoning up all the hose clamps, all that stuff, and we'll throw some coolant in it, and we'll move on to the next project. On to the fuel tank side of things. So I kind of already went over the tank. It's an, refresh everybody's memory, it's an 87 TBI tank baffled. It's got an internal pump, 255 gallon, OE replacement. So on these straps, holders, whatever you want to call them, they have these, I don't even know what kind of material it is, like these anti-vibration pads. It's more like a, let's call them like a paper kind of deal, but I didn't order any and I want to get this done, so I'm not gonna do it. So I went down to the, originally I was gonna use like a mud flap, but nobody here has anything, so we're gonna cut up a Chevy floor mat to make this work, because I really just need probably a piece here, there, and two up top, which this should give me plenty of what I'm after. So I'm gonna get all this jazz cleaned off and do some measuring, and we'll get some cuts done. We got the new tank rubber on. It's all bolted up. So we'll go ahead and throw her into the driver's side. I'm not gonna film this because this is not pretty. Me being on my back, upside down, fighting for my life. So I'll update you guys when I finally get it all the way in. All right, so let's get a rundown of what happened today. This will be the end of the video. I'm kind of getting tired. It's getting cold. It's getting colder. I'm getting older. So we went over, and the Speed Engineering 1 3/4 long tubes fit fantastic. I'll get underneath here in a minute and show you, but up here, great clearance, great around the, you kind of see the starter, both sides, clear as the Z-bar. I'll show you guys everything down there. Radiators mounted using a lot of factory stuff except for down there. when I had to make those brackets. The light just died. Still need to hook up the brake booster. We'll get there. Need to get the hood cable latch on. Let's see. So I got the coolant, or the expansion tank mounted. Sorry about the bad lighting. Coolant's in it. I need to put oil in it, but I have a sticker. The steam port. Got the oil cooler hooked up. Let's go take a look at the fuel tank. Still need to deal with that, but factory fuel tank, or this goes in like it would be stock. Come around the side here. Still need to run all the fuel line and the filter stuff, but for right now, I'm gonna save that for a fat guy trying to get up. Save that for another day. So yeah, I'd say overall I made quite a bit of progress today, more I've made in a couple weeks. So yeah, that's where we're gonna end off this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.